Hello, this is One Crazy Nordlander. How did I come up with that particular handle? I'm not sure. I guess my ancestors come from Norway, and I live up here in Minnesota. I guess the good side of Minnesota, the west side. So I decided to use that, I guess, as a handle. This is the first time I've ever done this live thing here, so bear with me. See if I can see if somebody's writing anything. I'm not even sure where to look. Oh, okay. There we go. Group chat. Got it. I'm so popular. I have about 200 guests right now. Actually, I have nobody. So, got such an ugly face, don't I? That just scares people away. I don't know if you're one of those that's under 1,000 subs, but sometime in January we got or I got a letter from YouTube saying that they're going to cut monetization for anybody under 1,000 subs. I have, um, here I say again. I have about 400. That is added about 100 in the last couple of weeks, and I really do appreciate all those who have subscribed to my channel. What am I about? What do I like? I guess I like mechanics for one thing, woodworking. I'm all over the place. I do like to read. This is kind of crazy, but I do like to read technical manuals, that type of thing. I work for a GM dealer, and I was hired as a parts manager, but the boss or the owner said that uh, he wanted me there for to read the technical manuals to the mechanics in the back, or the technicians, mechanics, technicians, new words. That was from 86 to about 93. Then I got involved with computers, and I'll kind of give you a little bit of a look around here. I know there's nobody really watching here. Maybe, oh, there's one viewer. I can turn down here, and I got into computers repair, and actually started with computer building, computer repair, and then I've gotten into network administration and uh, pretty much it. I don't mess around too much with servers. I dabble in servers a little bit. I am no expert by any means, but for the fact I've had experience since 93 on building and troubleshooting computers and a lot of the different things, I do have a pretty good insight of what is wrong when I go to somebody's place. Or actually, I pretty much only work with schools. It's very seldom. I have one other business I help out, but that's about it. I don't sell computers anymore. That was really a disaster. Places like Amazon and Dell and HP and all these different places have pretty much put me out of business as far as computer sales go. Sorry about the light shining there. I'm down in my basement in a room that there's my actual chicken wall there. You look down here, there's a egg incubator down there that somebody gave me. It has never been used. It's quite a deal. I need to do a video on that sometime. It's pretty unique. There's parts missing to it. I kind of wish I had all the parts for it. I'd kind of like to try it out. But my wife has banned me from having any chickens, so why try? Having a little difficulties today listening. So, and actually, it sounds like I'm talking inside of a drum right now. Started to have problems with an ear popping that had been going on for about a year. And finally, something kind of went haywire with it, and went to the doctor, and they said that I have a bad infection. So we think that'd be a kid thing, right? Too much information, right? Anyway, I think that'd be a kid thing. So I'm home. I did not go to work today. I'm not feeling the best, but I thought I'd try this since I have a little bit of time on my hand here. Is try the live stream thing. I'm not sure if I'm the viewer or if I do have one viewer. It says, if you'd like to say something, ask a question, go ahead. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's a little spot on the other side there that you can look at and enter in information on the right-hand side. I believe I'm looking at the right. I'm seeing a group chat thing here, and I believe that is what I need to look at. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever done this, so probably going to do this for another. Let me see, it's 3:16 now, Minnesota Central Time, and I'll probably do this for another until 3:30 and quit. Maybe it's just a bad time of the day. Too, people are at work. I'm an old guy. Like I said, I have a ton of interest. Right now, I have I've got a lot of backlog stuff I got to catch up with before my wife kicks me out of the house. Let me see if I can turn this here just a little bit so I don't have, there you go, cover that other one with my big head. I have a ton of interests, and I have too many interests. Oh yeah, gardening. If you look on some of my videos, and you'll see I have a lot of gardening videos, and a lot of them have to do with inside the greenhouse. Maybe if I tilt this down just a little bit. Here we go. No, I can't be seen. I need to slouch. There we go. I can slouch as long as the chair holds together. Here in Minnesota, it's been pretty cold this last few days. Another thing we like to do is go. We have 4 grandkids, and we like to go get together and do some trails and ATV stuff. 2 of my grandkids live close by, so we get to do this quite often. The other 2 get to meet up in the winter, but winter is kind of a bad time for ATV, and here in Minnesota anyway. Yeah, I'm sorry if you pick up a little bit of a brogue. It's my fault. As you see in the back, I mentioned it. That's my farm wall. Got some chicken memorabilia. Another thing I do is burn with wood, or heat with wood. I should have burn with wood. I heat with wood. I have a few videos on my, I have a playlist of videos on my outdoor wood boiler. We keep that, it keeps us pretty busy keeping that fed. I'm the youngest of my family. I'm nearly 60. I've turned 60 this year, and parents are both gone. I miss them a lot. I do. I miss both my mom and dad a lot. My dad passed away when I was 18, so I haven't had him for quite a long time. I miss him dearly. Think about him every day. Think about all the stuff that he had taught me, and you know, my education obviously made it through high school, barely. Hated school, absolutely hated school. Now I work for two schools. I went to tech school. I love tech school. I went to tech school for farm diesel mechanics. There I learned a lot. We had some great instructors. Um, the last instructor we had was our main diesel instructor. He was um, the experience there wasn't maybe the greatest. He was having some horrible medical issues, and should have really kind of been thinking about retiring at that time, but I still nonetheless learned a lot from him. He couldn't help it. That's just all there's to it. My first year, two instructors were fantastic. But my background is mechanics. I love mechanics, but like I said, I've got way too many interests and just not enough time to do it in. And unfortunately, I buy tools like no end. And I have a lot of tools. I have a lot of woodworking equipment. I should just really pass them on down to my grandchildren. My hope is I can teach my grandchildren a craft, whether it be woodworking. I love to weld. I took a welding class in high school that was actually out at the local trade school. So we get, even though we didn't get a certificate for welding or anything like that, we did learn a lot about welding. It's one thing I guess I kind of wish I would have went on to afterwards is we had a welding class and diesel mechanics too. So kind of got a double whammy of welding. So I do enjoy that. But that was all stick welding and then gas torch, oxyacetylene torch. Didn't have the plasma cutters, and wire feeder welders were pretty much off limits to the high school and diesel farm kids. So they figured they didn't have, you wouldn't have that at a implement dealership. Worked at an implement dealership, a John Deere one. Enjoyed that. I never really did get into a big implement dealer, but I ended up at a fuel injection place where I disassembled and cleaned up Rosamaster rotary pumps for a living for about, it was very short, 6 months. I got sicker than a dog from the calibrating fluid. Back then, it wasn't really thought of to wear protection as far as gloves and stuff like that. Now I'm sure everybody wears the gloves. I think if I would have done that, I think I'd probably have been okay. But my skin got absorbed with that calibrating fluid, and I just got sicker than a dog. It just was not a good thing for me. So worked at a fertilizer place that did egg fertilizer. I got out of that, and then I decided to uh, learn a little bit more about mechanics, and so I ended up working or going to school for just maybe a 6 month period to learn the trade of parts manager. So then I worked for for a GM dealer for about 7 years, and I did gain a lot. But like I said, I was used to help read manuals mostly. I was probably a poor parts manager. I knew my parts. I knew it. I could keep things going, moving really smoothly in the dealership, and I also got my feet put to the fire almost right away when I started working there, and I was a service manager for a week while our boss was on vacation, and the service manager got deathly ill. He survived, but that was really quite a baptism by fire for me to get thrown into the position. But I did well, and but after that, my boss asked me if I would like to do that, and I said not really, but maybe I should have challenged myself to do that. I guess I find myself able to run things, or as far as to manage things fairly well. I say right now I manage two schools, the and keeping the computers networks going there. I enjoy it. I work in the mornings. We also do adult foster care. My wife and I. We've been married. Let me see here. Come 2020, it'll be 40 years. So 38 this year. And almost lost her a couple times. Once the cancer thing went pretty well, but a couple times we were wondering if she was going to survive some heart issues, and then she also had a sudden cardiac arrest moment, but happened to be at the right place at the right time. I was able to keep things going until EMTs arrived and revived her heartbeat. But that was quite an experience. I don't think I ever want to experience that again. But yeah, I didn't realize it was, the cardiologist says it's 2% chance of survival. Obviously, we were fortunate that percentage probably went up because we were in a town that did this type of thing. But yeah, that was a life-changing moment. Makes you want to slow down and do things that you hadn't done before. Start looking at that bucket list. Not sure if I have a bucket list per chance, but I don't know. I've done a lot of different things. Some things just don't interest me, I guess. Going on, trying to kill yourself, doing something reckless, but a lot of people probably think things I do are reckless by riding ATV with the helmet off and maybe driving down the road without seat belts. Hey, come and pick me up. But I do wear seat belts when I feel necessary, but yeah, I should probably wear a helmet. But life's full of risk, right? What is life without risk? I twirled my thumbs. I noticed. Put my hands down there. Then I better not. So anyway, behind me again, just be kind of junky. The basement, when we had moved this house on from it was a completely stick built house at a lumber yard, and it wasn't in two pieces. It was in one piece, like a house would be. In the house mover moved it onto a basement that we had built here, and we finished the basement ourselves, my wife and I, and then we also added a sunroom, a 4-season one. Did some work with that. I do hire like flooring work done. I don't like being on my knees doing that type of thing. I don't mind standing up and doing work, or bent over a little bit, like shingles and stuff. It doesn't bother me too much, but being on your knees, it's kind of a bugger. Added a garage, an attached garage, and the wood-fired boiler I did myself. I put that in a separate building that's a few feet, quite a few feet, safe few feet from the house. And I've got, like I said, I got videos on that. I have some videos on my wood splitter I use. I have some videos on the technique that I use. I'd say the number one thing that I still enjoy doing is turning wrenches, even though I don't do it for a living. Back to the foster care, we've been doing this since 93, I believe. It's quite a few years. And we've been taking somebody that's um, challenged in and taking care of that person. And for a while, we had two consumers, clients, this politically correct names and stuff like that kind of drive me crazy. But anyway, yeah. Let me see what time it is. It is 3:30. I promise I'd quit. I'll probably come back to this and try it again, maybe at a different time during the evening or early in the morning. See if I get any viewers. But thanks for watching, the one viewer that's on here. Appreciate it. If you wanted to ask me a question here, better ask it soon here. I know I'm ugly, but what can I say? I can't help it. This is what God gave me. So my mom thinks thought I was cute, I guess, but I guess maybe a couple sisters did too when I was little. But they wouldn't let my dad cut my hair. They thought that the Beatles haircut, but I was blonde, so they were too. Well, actually, one of my sisters was brunette. But anyway, have a great day. Thanks for watching.